Hello and welcome to this quick informational tutorial-ish video on the workplace and dogs. New topic, this is 2022 and why the heck not at this point? Why did I decide to do this? It's very simple. I'm sales, marketing, exec. I've been in many roles over the years. And in those roles, I've ran into dogs. As you know, not everybody has, but I've had a pleasure and privilege to do so. We also own a dog, Cooper. That's his Instagram account. No longer maintained, but that's our dog. And we had fun with this and learned things along the way the very hard way. And in those tutorials, I try to not be boring because some subject matter can be really dry in business. And let's try to have fun with things. Three encounters with dogs for me would really be when I was a channel manager. I was giving training to the sales team at the Soft Choice Toronto office, and they had dogs running around everywhere and walking around and sleeping, and I was giving this sales training to their sales force, and I take one step backwards too much. I'm very physical when I present and give trainings. I walk around, talk with my hands, as you can see right now. And one step backwards too many, and I stepped on the tail of a golden retriever. Heard a yelp. I jumped to the scene, and you're like, what the heck just happened? It's 8:30 in the morning. And this sweet senior golden named Ella just got up, walked like 10 feet further to the next sunny window, and just, that was it. So that was my introduction to dogs in the workplace. Later down the road, I worked for a company called 11 Wireless, 11 Wi-Fi, open dog environment, and that was a whole lot of fun. I interviewed with my VP and a dog, a Jack Russell, that started eating the carpet in the meeting room, and that made for an interesting situation in the interview process. And also have been meeting people and getting business from the dog park. Dogs are really cool in a business context. And really what I'm going to do here today is share some nuggets of wisdom, if I dare call them like that, and see how we can make this work at your place of work. So who is this content for? HR, because HR is always stuck with those kind of situations. So let's help HR. If you want to create a different work environment and a different kind of employment experience for employees and enhance that workplace, and this can simply enable employee retention and also attraction. So hiring managers, if you talk to the younger audience out there that's getting into the workforce and say, yeah, we have a dog-friendly work environment, a lot of them may just be like, interesting. And they may want to look at this organization further, and just people are curious about things. And I'm one of those. So the pandemic, this is my dog Cooper petting me, telling me everything's going to be all right. A lot of individuals adopted dogs because pets were a really good way to keep sane being stuck at home, right? We don't feel well, we're having a bad day. Sit down, pet the cat, pet the dog, feel better. It's that very basic, simple process. But now, we have all those dogs, and dogs get separation anxiety, and humans get dog separation anxiety as well. Like, what's my dog doing? Is my dog okay? Is my dog eating the couch? Etc. And employers are kind of stuck with this situation of being between having people stay at home to work and work from the office. And how do you manage all this? And now that we have more dogs, so look at this from an HR benefit perspective. First and foremost, one of the main benefits of enabling dogs into your workplace is stress reduction. 11 is a software development shop. From a functional perspective, they're software vendors, so they have a lot of introverts that have to manage stress because code doesn't always collaborate, or this or that. And let's call a spade. Having those dogs around just lower the overall stress of everybody, raises productivity, and everybody's having a better time. It enables exercise. Dogs and humans need exercise, so take the dog out for a little walk at lunchtime, get some oxygen, etc. Right? There's that very simple log more footsteps in a day enablement. You get to know people in your office. You get to know people better in the office, and you build relationships. So it's a stronger, happier workforce that works better together. So last but not least, for if you have never done this, there are organizations which have therapy dogs that will go to your office for stress relief and just bonding, and you can book this. I've seen this a bunch of times and advertised in places. I think I've even seen a order a llama to work or something like that, and that falls into the really category, but it exists. And again, it's a really good benefit, and it's really positive. So for those who've never run into that situation, it's not obscure or as it's not as guarded as a practice as some people think. All those brands there that you've used or consumed or leveraged or worked for or purchased from, whatever, they have open dog policies and they make them work. I mean, if you have a small business, let's say with 25, 50 employees, and you're not sure how to make it work, well, Microsoft and Amazon can make it work, and they have ginormous organizations. So there's ways to get this done, and all those organizations leverage the benefits every day of allowing dogs in the office. It's also, like I mentioned, recruitment, a recruitment tool. On the right, you see that Amazon actually uses that because they have over 8,000 dogs that go to Amazon. And on the left is a company of a buddy of mine. They do ERP consulting, and they actually have an HR policy to let people come with their dogs to work. So, and this is like a small company, and they're making it work, and they're getting benefit out of this. Also, why the heck not? Try to market your corporate personality to some extent. Two examples here. The Ceros pet calendar is a cool thing, right? Share that with your customers on social media and the world at large, and create that engagement capability. And the same way that Amazon is using employees' dogs for their four pages. So we can find this page, but here's our dog. You know, it's really cool. And this can actually fall under social engagement marketing. And yes, shameless plug, I have a video on this, on how to engage in a meaningful way through causes with your audiences. So check it out. You may actually enjoy it. So now that you're saying to yourself, this is pretty cool, but how do you make it work? So you need to manage the fact that humans and dogs have to coexist in that workspace, and that dogs need to coexist with dogs in that workspace. And it's not always happy land, but there's ways to make it work. First and foremost, the American Kennel Club is a great guide on how to introduce dogs in the office and manage it. Links are in that document on my website that has a whole set of links to you, so you can actually have some reference material to get this going in your organization. But first and foremost, ask your landlord. If you rent corporate space from a corporate landlord, I'm simplifying it, ask if it's allowed or not. Like, my wife works in a downtown high-rise 23 floor building, and there's no way they're allowing dogs there. It's just not part of what those organizations offer. But if you look at the less corporate traditional downtown towers, ask, and you can be surprised at the fact that they'll say yes. Making it work at work is a common sense game, really, because it's everybody's workspace. Like, business has got to get done first and foremost. It's not a doggy daycare, and dogs have allergies, and humans have allergies. Like, if you have a dog that's allergic to chicken, and for the non-dog owners out there, chicken is the number one protein that dogs are allergic to. You cause more problems than good. So you want to be aware of all those things and make them work. One of my favorite things to manage is doorbells, because my dog Cooper, who's pictured here with his buddy Poulet, if my dog hears the doorbell, she's just gonna run and answer the door and bark and want to greet and everything. And that's fine at home, but at work, that can become disruptive. And there's ways to manage that. I'll let you research them. And dogs can be distractions. Let's call a spade a spade. Oh, this one's so cute. Oh, this one's so cute. And no work gets done. It's a matter of getting this working in your environment, setting up expectations, and doing a gradual introduction. There's going to be a need for gear, and I'm going to go over this later, but who's responsible for that? For this kind of stuff? Just make sure you set down common ground rules for everybody before this starts, and pet proof. Like, expect dogs to eat stuff, so make sure that nothing is eatable within the dog's reach, as an example. And something that's been implemented in places like Soft Choice, as an example, is a dog committee that defines the rules of engagement, like which dogs can and which dogs cannot. And it is the law of the land. And they have to test the dogs and see how they react in an office environment, if they behave well with other dogs, etc. If you've never taken your dog to a dog park and your dog's never been socialized, may not be a candidate for this kind of environment. And ultimately, you, the dog owner, you are responsible for your dog's behavior. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If a pair of expensive shoes get into a dog's mouth, into a chew toy mode, like my wife's sandals. Also, something that I think would greatly help is create some sort of a web page on your internet or wiki or something like that to define rules, expectations, benefits, etc. and the dogs. So, this dog doesn't like this, or this dog is allergic to that, are very simple things to catalog in a small office environment, and everybody benefits from this. So just in office items like gear, what should be there? And yes, these are examples of my dog with the necktie, because if you have a corporate visitor coming over, we have to dress up. But first and foremost, a welcome sign to let anybody that's not familiar with your work environment know that there's going to be dogs. So you manage expectations, and you want water bowls because dogs get thirsty, and poop bags because dogs output their breakfast, lunches, and whatever. And beds are a cool thing, and the one you see with the really active logo there is I helped out a buddy of mine set up some channel stuff last year, and we met at the dog park. So our dogs are friends, and while Jeff was in there with his dog, I went to their office, did some work, and brought Cooper, and he's sleeping and hanging on his buddy Obelix's bed. But my buddy Jeff got this big bed branded to their corporate owl logo, and it's just cool. It's a nice little thing to do from a branding perspective for your internal audiences. A few leashes because things break. Don't need to spend a fortune, but have a couple backups just in case. Non-allergic treats, like avoid chicken. Base treats, that's the number one rule. And of course, check with the dog owners before giving them. Some towels. Some towels would be really nice. As you can see, my dog Cooper, when he goes to the dog park and finds a little bit of mud, he gets into it. And I forgot to bring the cucumbers for his mouth bath, for the eyes and the whole thing. But expect the unexpected, and towels can help you manage that unexpected. Have some chew toys, just so the dogs have something to do. Chewing for dogs is a natural activity. It's a teeth cleansing kind of activity. It's also mental exercise, and they get tired out a bit. And like I mentioned, formal wear. If you're greeting customers or visitors into the office and you have 4 dogs showing up with neckties, you're going to make an impact. It's just adorable, and it's good. It's just good fun. So, references. As I mentioned, I've cataloged a bunch of things because I'm not the world's greatest. Sorry, I just looked for my dog. I'm not the world's greatest dogologist. So I cataloged a bunch of references. Just go to this website. It's all there. You can download the document and have fun with your experiment of bringing dogs to the office. I highly recommend it. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Drop me a line. I'm there to help. Have a great day.